send you home with a color palette full of 70 beautiful colors. But I'm sure you're left wondering, what uniquely is best for me? Well, today I'm going to tell you what your 7 best colors are. Hello, Jordan. So wonderful to meet with you today. And thank you for being my little guinea pig for this 7 best colors session. I have been doing color analysis for such a long time, and always thought that perhaps people might like to better understand what the absolute best colors are for them. And so that's why I've been designing this session. What I hope to get out of this is when we do color analysis, you know, when I did your color analysis, we hand you a palette, it has 30, 40, 50 colors on there, and it can be hard to figure out where uniquely within that palette you're going to find your absolutely best colors. Well, that is where my trained eye will come in to helping you find which colors are the best specific to you. When we're looking at 12 different seasons, which is obviously the color analysis I tend to do, we tend to look at kind of the cruder side of things. Obviously, eye color, hair color, all of these things are essential. We would be almost, throwing darts blindly if we didn't have that basic information to kind of hone in on where we should look. But once we get there, it can be a bit difficult to see which colors really go best for you. And so that is why I have brought you in today. Thank you so much for sending through your picture. With that picture, I've been able to test you out in all sorts of different colors thanks to the modern technology of Photoshop. And so I've tested you in probably about 50 different colors. And I've done this over a few different days because in one session it can take a little bit of time for the eye to really hone in on any perceived biases and that sort of thing to make sure it's just we're actually honing in on your absolute 7 best colors. And so this is the final result after days of work, so thank you for coming in. I'm very excited to share these colors with you. Now we have got some notes here. First, I just want to give you some of my thoughts overall. With your light brown eyes, your mousy brown hair, and that neutral toned skin that you have. One of the things that I noticed was that your best colors tend to be medium in tone. So I felt like really, really light colors wash you out. They kind of feel like you get lost in those colors. So while we typically might say somebody in your season is good in an ivory, I found ivory a bit too light. But I found medium tones, they just complemented you perfectly. Also found with darker tones, just got too dark. And with the darkness, it would just draw too much attention away. And one of the key things that I'm looking for is, so I would basically be flipping back and forth between that screen and a different screen. I want to see where my eyes are first drawn when I go onto the screen that's looking at your face. I want it to draw me straight to your eyes and your face. If the eyes draw me down to your shirt, then that's what, we in the business call the shirt is wearing you rather than you wearing the shirt. Everything should be complementing and enhancing, not taking attention away from you. And that's what I found with the darker colors, is really dark colors do tend to draw that attention away from you. So medium tone is definitely where all of your best colors come in. The other thing I noticed is that high saturation colors basically did the same thing as very dark colors. My eye was drawn directly to them, and you kind of got lost as, a different detail. So I think lower saturation colors are definitely ideal for you. We do have one exception in your 7 best colors, and we will get to that. But on the whole, if you stick to lower saturation colors, what I mean by lower saturation colors is if you think about a steel blue, has a grayish quality to it. It's not overly bright, as opposed to a royal blue, which is just in your face and really bright. That brightness will basically detract from your look. And the third element that I noticed is that the cooler colors are the colors that look best on you. And that obviously would be expected with your coloring. But being neutral in skin tone, it is good to confirm that you're not skewing towards the warmer side of neutral, a little bit more towards the cooler side of neutral. I just found that the cooler colors really accented you, looked much better, I thought, than the more warmer colors. So, you ready to see my little masterpiece? So I did have to do, because the picture you gave me had some striping on it, I corrected that to take it out, basically, because we want to be letting the color speak and not the pattern. So I did that, and I dimmed out the background so that we could be focusing just on you. Because otherwise those little pink flowers in the background might have drawn our attention away from where they should. So let me show you the first color that I found for you. Sugar Plum. Number 1, this is one of your 7 best colors. It is a shade of a magenta pink. You can see it's that medium in tone. It's not too dark, not too light. And it's on the duller side of the spectrum, so it's a little bit, it's not so saturated. And can't you just see how much it brings you to life? That lovely sugar plum. Next color is this beautiful Fandango pink. Now, I wasn't sure, the pictures you had given me didn't see you in any pink, so I don't know if you don't like pink. But I must say, I loved you in this pink and a few other pinks as well, but I thought this was the absolute best pink, was the Fandango pink. Pink, it just accents the pinkness in your skin. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. I think pink is a lovely color for you. When it's not oversaturated, you don't want a hot pink. You would get lost in a hot pink, but this Fandango pink, oh, just perfection. It adds a touch of brightness without overwhelming the soft features of, your hair, your eyes, and your skin. Just like pink, I do have some other colors for you too. Next is teal. Now, teal is wonderful. I just see how it just pulls you all together. I think teal looks wonderful on you. Teal sits in the blue-green color family, so we're not sitting right in the middle of blue. It's getting pulled towards the green, which is suggested, I think, by your neutral skin tone, because you're not purely, cool in skin tone. I think that teal helps bring you over just a bit, and perfection. It's that medium saturation, medium lightness, and it's a perfect contrast to your pink hues. It's beautiful, beautiful in contrast. Now, I also told you that you would have a higher saturation color. It's not overly saturated. It's more of a medium saturation, whereas most of your other colors will tend to be low saturation. And that is rose garnet. This is red that's just adjacent to magenta on the spectrum. And it's a medium saturation color, medium lightness. It's that perfect level of lightness and darkness for you. Perfection. Part of the reason that a little bit higher saturation works just in this rose garnet color is because of the brown in your eyes and your hair. So when you're dealing with the brown, they skew a little bit in that family, and so we can just take that little bit of extra saturation, and I love it. Rose garnet, I think, is wonderful. The thing you'll notice between the rose garnet and the color of the dress or shirt that you were wearing in this picture that you sent to me is that the rose garnet is just a little bit cooler. There's a little bit of rust color in that dress, and I think it still looks very lovely on you, but I'm just saying you get it in that rose garnet. Look perfect. Now, next we move to, this is an almost neutral. I think it would be a good color direction for your neutrals. I don't think you actually want to go with completely unsaturated colors. So the pure grays I didn't think quite looked like your very best colors. Obviously they look good on you, but I still found you still want a little bit of saturation with this purple taupe. This is skewing towards a gray, but with a touch of purple in there. And that purple taupe just adds that saturation that you need. You want low saturation, not no saturation for your absolute best colors. That being said, with your type of look, when we're looking at those colors, this is primarily talking about what's going to be best right next to your face. So your shirts and tops and jackets and that sort of thing. No saturation pants is probably going to be fine. But we're talking about right next to your face. To really complement that, I still think you want just a touch of saturation. So this purple taupe is a wonderful option. Too little saturation, it skews a bit too cool. And so it overwhelms your neutral toned skin and ends up flattening your look. So I think that touch of saturation is important within those cooler colors. So number 5 is your purple taupe. Now to your 6 best colors. These aren't really in any order, but number 6 is a metallic blue. Now when you see the image, you can tell that I'm not talking about a shiny blue. but rather a color that reflects not a pure blue, but that loss of saturation that we tend to get in metals of a particular color. So metallic blue will be a bit less saturated and pulls a little bit more towards that steel gray blue that we're talking about. But I like the bit of extra saturation that we get in this metallic blue. I thought this one was perfect for you. And it just sits so wonderfully on your neutral skin. And all eyes will be right here where they belong when you wear metallic blue. Now, are you ready for your 7th best color? We have Hooker's Green. So this color, Hooker's Green, is named for the botanist William Hooker, who invented this color for botanical paintings centuries ago. And so this green is very botanical. It's a natural green. You can see, though, it skews cool. Lots of greens can be very warm if you think about olive greens, avocado. This is a cooler green. It's right in that saturation level that we're looking for. It's low saturation. It's a cool green, and it's not too dark and not too light. It's perfect for you. It allows your face to be the flowers that greenery helps to shine. A little corny, I know, but I thought of it and I had to share it with you. So, your 7 best colors. We have Sugar Plum, Fandango Pink, Teal, Rose Garnet, Purple Taupe, Metallic Blue, and Hooker's Green. And as a little surprise for you, I have got a shirt selection of 1 of each color waiting for you to take home with you. Oh, my pleasure. I hope you will enjoy them.